Good morning. Welcome to the show. Today is Monday, September 13th.
We hope you all had a great weekend. We start off this week's show with a special announcement from our theater department.
Their first musical of the year, Hairspray, was scheduled to be performed last month.
But because of new COVID protocols, they had to postpone the show.
But now it's coming up. The cast has been working hard this summer, and we are so excited for them.
Here's Mr. Price to give us some more updated information. I mean, you can't stop the beat on this show, right?
Hairspray finally opens on Friday, October 1st, and then we run that full weekend. I am beyond excited to finally get this show open. We've been thinking about this show since November of last year, so now we finally get to put it on in October. My cast is amazing. I am so proud. Like, I think about their first performance last year. We still have video of it and we kind of make fun of each other. Now, when everyone sees Hairspray, I mean, it's the best thing that we've ever done. I'm just so proud of the growth of this department in such a short amount of time.
Thanks, Mr. Price. We're looking forward to your show.
Next up, we'll be recognizing teachers that have received shout-outs from students.
In each grade level Google Classroom, there is a form that you can fill out to shout out a teacher. Also, you may have seen flyers in the hallways where you can scan a QR code and fill out a shout out form.
So, let a teacher know how awesome they are by filling one out. We have many great teachers here. This week, we recognize our first teacher that comes from the Social Studies Department.
Continuing the tradition of doing teacher shout-outs, we're so excited to introduce our first teacher shout-out, Miss Carter.
Miss Carter has been teaching here for 4 years. She teaches AP US History and AP Seminar. This is what her students have to say about her.
She's very nice, understanding, and funny.
She really helps her students when they're quarantined or have COVID.
She makes history fun.
She's a good teacher and she does a lot of hands-on activities.
Her students love her energy in the classroom.
And she really makes sure that her students are engaged in class.
Thanks, Miss Carter. We appreciate you and keep up the good work.
Thanks, guys. Make sure to make a teacher's day by filling out a shout-out form.
Last week, we introduced you to our first ASH OG. Colonel Martin, what makes an ASH OG? These are teachers that have been at ASH for 20 years or longer.
ROG this week is actually the one who started the video announcements, like we do here on the show each week. In fact, she's worked here long enough to retire and come back.
And we are so glad she did. Many of you met her when you checked out your Chromebooks. That's right, our next ASH OG is our librarian, Miss John Girl.
I started here in 1975. I left for a couple of years in 2008, and I stayed home a couple of years and decided I'd come back, and I got my job back here, so I felt like I got to come back home again. When I first started working here, there was not a single computer in the school. All they had in their classroom was a textbook. We had those big projectors with the big reels on them, and we checked those out. My fondest memories, years that I was the speech and debate team coach, I had the opportunity to work with the #1 students in our school year after year. I was the teacher who was fortunate enough to get to start the announcements, and one of the reasons for that is we had a device called the head-end unit that ran all of the TVs in the school. That started in 1990. Those TVs were installed in all the classrooms, so the announcements for several years were live. That was very interesting. The students and I got in trouble a few times for things that we did, and then we got a camera to where we could record, but there was no way to edit. We did a TV show every single day. And the very first editing class, so to speak, that we had was right after Hurricane Katrina. A lot of the students from the New Orleans area came to our school and they became our students. And a young man went to a school called NOCA in New Orleans, and it's a school for communication arts. And so he taught us how to do the cut and pasting, how to put the banners on. So a student who was displaced here from New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina was our teacher on our first news programs. And we have the Martin family to thank for getting us the equipment to do that. I'm so happy to have been a part of the beginnings of that.
Thanks, Miss Shongirl. It was so neat to hear your stories, especially the part where you started the video announcements. You've had an impact on our school, and we are thankful for all that you continue to do as our librarian.
Last week was our first pep rally of the year, and our football team is preparing for another great game.
This week, we travel to Avoyelles Parish and play the Marksville Tigers. Here's more.
What's up, Trojans? This week's game is an away game versus Marksville. It's at 7. The theme is wrestling, so wear your favorite capes and masks, and we're going to take down those Tigers.
Thanks, Jackson. Let's take down those Tigers, WWE style.
That's it for the show. Let's go,
Trojans!